Okay, so you have diversified businesses, no? So just so we can make this talk more organized, so I understand you're also in manufacturing. So
Yeah.
that's MD
MD1, yeah.
Then you have
Bodybuilding.
bodybuilding,
Truck bodybuilding, which is
bodybuilding, which is Centro.
Centro. Yeah.
And you also have food, which is binalot,
Binalot, yeah.
the banana leaf, with Filipino dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that all begin? Where do we trace back your beginnings?
I come from a very entrepreneurial family. Okay, so ever since I can remember, we're not the type of family where when the parents go home, no more work, ganyan. Oh, no work during dinner. We're not like that. Our family they liked talking about work. My dad would talk about what he did in the office, in the factory. My mom, who set up a school in Malabon, would talk about also, the students, the teachers, and, all those things. But one thing that I remembered, we never had the impression that what they were doing was hard or that they had a lot of problems with work. So I guess they gave us a positive attitude towards business.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why all of us siblings, were four. The oldest one is a girl, si Ate Rowie. She's into education. She has a after-school enrichment program called Galileo. And she has like 30 branches around the Philippines also. The second one is my kuya. He's the president of Centro Manufacturing. So he's really the one who grew Centro bodybuilding, truck bodybuilding. So we supply all the major truck brands. No? And then me, and then our youngest has a coffee shop in Makati, in Poblacion, called Commune. Si Ria is my sister. And she does roasting also. So she sells beans, and she's actually branching out now. No? So parang lahat kami, I wouldn't say it was expected, but it was natural. It was natural for us to venture into business. And my dad would encourage us. Our parents would encourage us to go into business. Hindi yung tipong, you have to take over the business. Hindi. Okay, you help out in the business.
It came naturally. It
Yeah,
wasn't
it came naturally.
really forced.
It wasn't. And when we tell them, Dad, I'm gonna put up this thing, they're very, supportive. No? So basically, ganyan. After college, and growing up, it was never, we didn't have a parang we didn't have a luxurious childhood naman. In the summer, we were expected to work. So my brother and I, we would paint the chairs and tables of the school. Katulong namin yung karpintero at saka yung pintor. We would sandpaper it, ganyan, and then we will put paint and everything. And then we'll get paid like 1 peso per chair. Ganyan. And then if there's a construction, we would pick up, all the bent nails, and then we would hammer it to straighten it. And then we'd resell it to my dad for 25 cents each. Ganyan. So my dad was like, pag walang school, you have to work or else you won't have money. Okay? So he was kind of instilling the discipline in us already. But he kept us busy also. Palaging may activities during the summer. Swimming, computer, ganyan. Ayaw niya yung nakatambay lang sa bahay. No? And I remember also my dad, if it's books, he would buy. No question. If you want a book, I will buy the book for you. So, yun, it kind of excited us more to do business. No? I remember it's my brother talaga who's the salesman. Bata pa yun, he would sell candy, stickers to his classmates. I would be his agent. Ako yung ahente. Siguro PR. Taga-PR din ako, parang ganyan.
So how do you divide the work among the siblings? I'm sure may disagreements yan. But how do you
Yeah.
ensure na harmonious yung dynamics niyo? Kasi you hear about all these family squabbles, then somehow it doesn't work out well.
My dad has been conscious about that, and my mom as well, ever since we were young. No? And actually, we have a family constitution. So my dad was very open to it. My sister was the one who opened it up. Maybe we should do a family constitution. And we did that. Our kids were still small, no?
To set things up clearly.
To set things up, it would be more for our kids. No? Kasi kami naman, we get along. Eh. But of course, my dad and my mom are still there. No? So that's another setup then. I mean, for us siblings. No? So, it's pretty clear naman. So each one is in charge of one company. But all the companies are family owned. Wala kaming sarili. Ganyan. So, and ako, I enjoy it because we have support systems. No?
Yeah.
Ganyan.
But among all your businesses, the big chunk is still Centro or
Yeah, in terms of size, yes.
Size.
Of course, when I graduated from college, I took up high school in UST and then college in LaSalle. When I graduated, I worked first. I worked in Toyota. So I was a parts department, marketing division in Toyota. And then after that, I worked in Honda, sales naman.
so you have automotive experience,
Meron
which is
konti,
fine.
jutay. No? But, and then I joined our family business, yung MD Juan nga. MD Juan is really the family business. We made Jeep bodies, the old military style Willys Jeeps. And then the Renegade Jeeps, and then the Wrangler Jeeps. We made that. We still make that, and we export it to the US. So that's basically what I'm handling also now. No? But somewhere along the way, my father and my brother were talking. Kasi export yung Jeeps eh. Sabi ng brother ko, maybe we should have a counter-cyclical business na pang-domestic naman. And he put up Centro. For that. And about the same time, it's my brother and I also, sabi namin, let's put up a restaurant, a food business. Sabi namin, paano yan? Hindi naman tayo marunong magluto. Magaling lang tayo kumain. So, we actually invited a friend of my brother's who's a chef who graduated from the California Culinary Academy. And we asked her to help us cook adobo. No? So, that's how Binalot started. But Binalot actually started from childhood memories because when we'd go to our little farm in Cavite before, my mom would wrap our food with banana leaves. So sabi
that
ko
was inspired
it was an inspiration
from your childhood.
From my childhood.
So it brings back some nostalgic
memories.
Yeah,
kasi sabi ko, at that time wala pang Filipino fast food, wala pang Mang Inasal nun.
Yeah.
So sabi ko, siguro people are tired of the usual hot dog, hamburger, spaghetti, ganyan, dim sum, ganyan. Let's try Filipino fast food. So that's when we came up with Binalot.
When was this founded?
1996.
96. Oh, so almost 20 years.
Yeah, more. Anyway, so we started Binalot. Actually, we started it in our condominium in Makati. We lived in the most inexpensive condominium building in Makati. We got a room in the farthest room at the back. I remember our rent there was 12,000 a month lang. And we cooked adobo there. And it's all delivery. Mm-hmm. And it caught on. Telepono lang yun dati. And the phone didn't stop ringing. No? So, yun. And then, delivery lang. And then, we got a space in Greenbelt. We got a space in Mega Mall. And then, we opened branches. And then, we started franchising in 2004. So, now, Binalot, we have like 32 branches.
Nationwide,
yeah.
So, 96. Yeah, tama. More than 20 years.
Yeah. And, okay naman, of course, like everybody, we had a hard time during the pandemic. But
so may nag-shut down during the pandemic.
Yeah, there were some stores who we really had to close. Some
So they didn't
franchises.
come back now that things are better.
Some did, no, but a few did not open anymore. Pero I'm glad to say naman that now there are a lot of new franchises opening of Binalot. So, I mean, I'm glad to say that it's slowly going back to normal. So,
Are you still looking to expand and look for more
yeah, always.
partners?
Yeah, always. And yeah, franchising is still our main mode of expansion. I believe franchising is doing business for yourself but not by yourself. So, magandang model siya because we take care of the back office, we take care of the commissary, and you just take care of the store, as a franchisee. And of course, the good franchisees are really the hands-on franchisees, and we notice the hands-on ones are the ones who really succeed.
So you would describe yourself as a micromanager. Like, did you
No.
go around all the different departments? Did you
No, I'm not.
learn the ropes in all aspects?
Well, I did. I know how to wrap the food. I like going to the stores. But I'm not really a nitty-gritty guy. No. Something I learned in AIM when we took our Master of Entrepreneurship course there. They taught us in business, you have 3 O's. One is the originator, who's the visionarist. He has the ideas and everything. One is the organizer, and usually that's the finance guy. And one's the operator. That's the day-to-day. I'm an originator. So that's why I need a good organizer and operator. And that's why I have a CFO, I have a COO that helps me out with Binalot.
Yeah, but it's good no, that you know who you are, so you know
Yeah, and
how
some
you can
guys
play into your strengths.
and some guys have 3. Yung magagaling talaga, they have 3. Some have 2. No? I only have 1.
Okay. So what about MD Juan? When was that founded? As well as Centro.
MD Juan was founded in 1966 by my grandfather. So MD Juan actually is my grandfather's name, Maximino Dionisio Juan.
Ah, okay.
So,
Goes
ganun
way
din
back.
yan. My grandfather started before because when the Americans left, they dug a big hole and they put all the Jeep parts in the hole and covered it up. And then they went back to the US after World War II. So what the Filipinos did, they dug it up and they assembled it. Yun yung mga Jeeps those are the first 4-wheel vehicles of the Filipinos. And eventually they extended it and they made it into a jeepney, diba? So actually yun nga even with this jeepney modernization, a lot of people are saying that we want the iconic look back. We want the old iconic Sarao type, if I dare say. The Sarao is a beautiful, iconic vehicle, really. But, you have to understand the history of jeepneys. Jeepneys came from jeeps. No? That's why it's a lengthened jeep. No? Kaya mukha siyang ganon. And then, when eventually it evolved into diesel jeeps, whatever is available in the market. So kung may Isuzu na axle, merong Mitsubishi engine, bubuin nila yan, and that will be the jeepney. This is the jeepney of old. No? So now, we're doing the modern jeepneys. You have to find whatever is available in the market also. And the available in the market right now are the cab-over models. Because you have to understand, for utility vehicles, inefficient yung may hood eh. Kasi the hood takes up space for the whole length of the vehicle. So instead of having more passenger space, you're putting space in the engine. So this new design maximizes the passenger side. Ganyan lang naman kaya ganyan yung design ng mga buses and ng mga trucks natin. No? So that's why that's the now. And parang sinasabi nga, I really disagree when people say, no, it has to be the iconic look. The iconic look, like Sarao, that's mostly in Luzon. 'Di ba? Pero dito in Cebu,
Yeah.
iba yung itsura ng jeepney, 'di ba? In Mindanao, iba rin yung itsura ng jeepney, 'di ba? So, there's no monopoly to the iconic look, I think. No? So, I'm all for the new modern jeepneys now because it's more convenient, it's more comfortable for the customers. And that's really what it's for. It's for the riding public.
Functionality also. And
Functionality.
comfort.
Sorry, but I digress. No, balik tayo sa MD1. So, ang MD1 was started by my grandfather. He noticed that there were parts that were needed for the Jeep, starting with the windshield. Kasi before, they would import the Jeeps one on top of the other. So, napipipi yung windshield screen. Yun yung unang nasisira. So, you had broken windshield screens. So, my grandfather had them made by hand. And he used to make, his people used to make 2 windshield frames every 2 weeks. So, one a week yata. Ganun. And then, he invested in a die, in a press. And suddenly, he was doing 200 in a week. No? And then, he invested in other equipment. So, he started making the whole Jeep tub, the Jeep parts, all the stamped metal. And then my father naman, during his time, was the one who started exporting it. No? My tita also helped with finance naman. So it was a family affair also. So I'm 3rd generation for MD Juan. But now it's 95% all export. And I'm proud to say that if you're a Jeep restorer anywhere in the world, you would know MD Juan. And you would know that one part of your Jeep comes from the Philippines. So, and up to now, it's a niche market. It's not growing, pero it's still there. That's why now we're evolving it. We're making 4x4 accessories now. So, bumpers, roll bars, ganyan, side bars. Yun ang ginagawa namin.
Are your parents still active?
My father, we call him the chairman of the world. Yeah.
He's still...
He goes to
gets
the office,
updates.
not day to day. Wala nang day to day. But he would go to the office and he will implement stuff, ganyan. And he would tell us, we have regular board meetings. And yun nga,
So he still joins.
He still
Nakialam
joins.
pa siya sa decision making.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yun, you mentioned, you asked kanina how we organize it. We try to make it professional. Once in like every quarter we have a board meeting. And we have independent board members. No? We're not part of the family, professionals. And they give us advice. And, we get direction from the board every so often. With each business, we do corporate planning. We have been doing corporate planning for the past, I'd say, like 15, 16 years. So every end of the year, we do our corporate planning and the mid-year planning also because you have to adjust. Every month, we try to have a monthly performance review. So, just to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
So, yun. So, I would say the siblings naman have a say in everything that's happening.
But it's good that it's set up properly. Kasi I imagine some big families, syempre toxic yan or may entitlement. So, some will, diba, assert their power or parang...
Well, it's not, hindi naman...
Mag-ego trip, may
Hindi
ganyan.
hindi naman Taipan size eh, It's not really so much. I think it's manageable. It's still manageable. Hindi siya gateway. Yung size,
naman.
no? So mas manageable pa, no? But congratulations also on your achievements with Gateway. And also with your family, congratulations on your
thank you.
baby.
Thank you. We're proud to expand further kasi malaki naman opportunities also. Now that the economy is back and there's a lot of demand for vehicles. So, okay naman. We're in a favorable position.
That's good.
So, regarding Centro, when did that begin?
Centro was...
1966 si MD.
Yeah.
And si Centro.
96 din si Centro.
Sabay ni Binalot.
Oo, sabay ni Binalot. 96 din si Centro. And it was my brother who started it. His first break actually was with Isuzu. Because Isuzu before came up with the IPV, the Isuzu passenger van. No? That was their answer to Mitsubishi L300. No? And I remember it was Mr. Artbal Madrid that time, who was the head of sales in Isuzu, that really gave Rafi a break. Sabi niya, kawawa naman tong bata na to, bigyan natin ng pagkakataon. No? And I remember the first time we did it, they made us make the body. The volume was only 30 units a month. Di namin magawa eh. We could not do it. But we had our engineers from MD1 help us also to design the body, the hinges, and everything. So, yeah. But we had the experience also. Kami ni Rafi before, we interned with Francisco Motors. Yeah, during the summer, my dad, before, helped Francisco with their old equipment, pinabid out niya, ganyan. And we would hang out in Francisco Motors before. Kasama pa namin si Joseph Bautista, which for the longest time was with the marketing of Isuzu. And that's the first time we saw an assembly line. So because that time they were doing their jeepneys using the B2200 engine by Mazda. They have Mazda pickups that they were doing. They had an AUV called Anfra, named after the founders, Anastasio Francisco. So we were inspired also by that. No? And also actually, yung mga inspired kami sa mga factories talaga. And when we'd go out also, my dad would expose us to other factories. So yun, we got our first break with Isuzu. And then I remember the first fleet order was with PLDT. Suzuki pa yun. Suzuki yung chassis. And then from then on, it started and we were able to supply to Mitsubishi and we were able to supply to Hyundai.
Yung mga L300.
Yeah, L300.
Yeah, there's still high demand for L3. We have a lot.
I think that's
clients.
The biggest success of na success story ng commercial vehicles in the Philippines. I mean, you don't see those types of bodies anywhere else.
Even the look, 90s pa, but it still sells like hotcakes.
Yeah. Oh, so I think that's why the Filipinos, it's part of Filipino culture already. I would say that it's also iconic, the Mitsubishi L300.
Also, yung Kia, we also
did
tie-up, diba? Yung 2500 body.
We do Hyundai also, and we try to service all the customers. So now Centro has 3 factories for the passenger vans and the PUVs. We do PUVs also. So one is in Marilao, Bulacan, and one is in Novaliches also, and one is in Maguyam, Cavite. And this year we will be setting up another plant that will be the biggest plant. It's 10 hectares in Magalang, Pampanga. Yeah. So
4th plant. Okay.
Yeah, 4th.
Yeah. Nice.
And kami naman,
you have time to visit all your
I'm very proud of our management team. So with each plant, there's a COO or really a good manager there. So we try to visit all, no, pero hindi naman kaya lahat. But we are confident that it's being managed well. And that's what we're proud of also with the Centro culture. The managers can decide.
So na-delegate properly yung authority. Because some are just figureheads. Parang walang say. So parang magulo yung culture. So it's good to have that.
So that's why, sometimes our customers say, hindi, okay kausap si ganyan, okay kausap si ganito. Because they can decide. And we give them the authority naman. Siyempre.
How do you instill that culture? Given maraming employees,
credit goes
ibang areas pa.
Credit goes to my brother. He's really the one who set up the organization for Centro. So, careful training and I guess yung performance reviews talaga. During the performance reviews kasi they really show their mettle, parang ganyan. And that's where there's a forum for you to really speak out, no, if somebody's not doing his job well, ganyan. Pero it's all trabaho lang, walang personalan. When you go out the door,
objective lang.
Walang away-away yan.
Anong goals, it's still business.
Yeah, it's still business. So, I'm very proud of our management team, no. And then yun,
how many employees do you have total?
I think about 800. Right?
800.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you decide na we'll set up a plant in this area?
For
This
Centro,
lot.
it was strategic to have a northern factory and a southern factory so that the southern customers can go to the south and then the northern ones go to the north. Kasi yun nga, at least you don't have to pay the toll anymore, ganyan. So logistics also is a big factor. Yun, with Pampanga, it's also strategic because we can see the growth in the north right now also. But we're very excited with the PUV modernization. We are seeing a lot of demand right now. Maybe it's not what the news say na 300,000, no? Kasi siguro if once the public transport system becomes more efficient, you wouldn't need as much PUVs anymore. But I can see, I'm really excited when I see them, and I see that the riding public prefer them over the old ones, no? Kasi the old ones, if I can just share, sometimes ang consumption nila is mga 4 kilometers to a liter. Kasi pumping oil na yung mga makina nila, puro top up na lang ng oil. And it's all burning oil already. The wheels are all worn out, so even the brakes, ganyan. So it's really unsafe. So I'm really pushing for the PUV modernization.
How do you ensure that you keep up with, of course, yung mga tools? Siyempre, that's always evolving and it's always...
Which one?
May mga bago.
The equipment.
Equipment.
Yeah.
All of these things. Because it's constantly getting updates, diba?
Well, we're
As well as
we're updated
your
naman.
partner suppliers to ensure na quality. How
My,
do you
my brother
pick?
and I, we go to a lot of equipment shows.
Yeah.
Oo. And we do a lot of benchmarking.
So you make that assessment, of course.
Yeah. We do a lot of benchmarking also. Like, we visit factories in Thailand, in Japan, in Taiwan, and then we benchmark. So basically, we always see what's new. Ganyan. We're still far from them, no? But we're slowly getting there. So actually, we were able to purchase the paint line of Honda cars when they closed down their plant. So we will be using an ED system soon for our bodies also. And when the Nissan factory closed down, we were able to buy their spot welding equipment. So yun ganon, no? We try to introduce new technology all the time. We invested in an uncoiler. So we get our metal in coils right now. And then we shear it cut to size. Instead of buying them in plates lang na maraming excess. So ito cut to size na. Yung mga ganun. So that's why we always encourage our customers to visit the factory so that they can see the new technology like laser cutters, turret punches, yung mga CNC press brakes, ganyan. That's really needed for
Right.
good
Imagine
quality.
it's hard to choose, no? Given daming possible partners. Then some may be pricey, pero the quality is good. But some, the quality is so-so, pero sulit, di ba?
we
Yung
have
cost also.
we have a lot of friends now who
It's
are
finding that balance sa cost.
Of course, the suppliers naman educate you no, kung what's new in the
Sa
market.
iba, di ba?
ganyan.
Bola lang yung iba.
Syempre, sales, no? Pero, kaya marami naman tayong kaibigan sa industriya. So, we benchmark also with friends, we ask them, kamusta to sa supplier
But
na
it
to?
needs focus.
Kamusta
Kasi
equipment?
di ba, if you just nod, then walang...
Yeah, and we have a lot of consultants, no? So
critical talaga.
uh,
Yung pag-discern ba? Pag-assess.
Recently, we formed a partnership with Nippon Fruhoff of Japan, a joint venture partnership, and we're producing refrigerated van bodies. The brand is Cooltech. So it's Centro Nippon Fruhoff Cooltech Inc., CFCI. So we put up a plant in Sterling, Cavite, and we do the XPS panels, the insulated panels. So now we can actually customize your refrigerated van, and you can choose the cooling system that you need. No? So katulad nun, we learned that technology through our partner because nag-technology transfer yung Nippon Fruhoff sa amin. No? And we have their engineers who help us also.
Bro, looking back in your many years, which time would you say was the worst? Meron bang crisis na
I think with
which was really hard to overcome?
with each business there was, no? Iba-iba.
Ano yung pinaka-major na setback?
I remember when I was starting with Binalot, 1996. Then we were hit by the Asian crisis,
97.
97. So bagsak lahat. And we were about to close already kasi we just started 1 year pa lang. No? But we edged on and we were able to survive it naman. But it really streamlining and things like that. So that's the first one. With MD Juan, it was the 2008
Crisis
crisis naman in the US.
Crash ng US economy.
So orders stopped coming, no, because nagka-recession sa US. Actually, may recession sa US ngayon. So we noticed a dip in export sales also now. And then the next was Binalot during the pandemic. No?
Yeah, of course, the malls were all shut down.
Yeah.
Restaurants badly hit.
So what I learned lang talaga, I guess, is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No? And I think you learn more from failure than by just succeeding all the
Critical
time.
part of success is, of course, going through and enduring the failures.
Kasi kung succeed ka lang succeed, wala kang matututunan.
Walang learning
And then
curve.
when you get hit, you fall really hard. Parang ganyan, if you didn't go through all of this. So, yeah, I mean, marami, iba't ibang times in business. No?